Why are politicians like pizzas? Now, before you start pondering over the toppings, let me tell you, it's not about the cheese or the crust. It's about the essence, the core. You see, pizzas and politicians, they share a common trait. Oh, it's not the round shape or the hot air, although those might be true too. No, it's the fact that they both have an uncanny knack for disappearing when there's work to be done. Picture this, you've been slaving away. Your stomach's grumbling louder than a disgruntled voter, and you think, aha, I'll order a pizza. But lo and behold, the moment you need it most, it's gone, vanished. Just like our dear politicians. When the going gets tough, when the bills need passing, when the public needs serving, they're nowhere to be seen. Just like your pizza, right? Right, because when you need them, they are nowhere to be found. Scene script. How many politicians does it take to change a light bulb? That's the question we're asking today. Now you might be thinking 1, 2, maybe even 3. But oh, how you underestimate the complexities of the political world, my friend. You see, it's not as simple as just climbing up a ladder and replacing the bulb. Oh no. First, there needs to be a debate on the merits of the old bulb, a lengthy discussion on whether it was truly burnt out, or if it was just suffering from a momentary lack of brightness. Next, there's the issue of choosing the new bulb. Should it be LED or traditional incandescent? A heated debate ensues, with each side passionately defending their choice. And let's not even get started on the color temperature. So how many politicians does it take to change a light bulb? The answer is none. They just form a committee to discuss the light bulb's problems. What do politicians and babies have in common? Well, I'm glad you asked, because the similarities are uncanny, and I'm not just talking about the bald ones. First off, they both have an exceptional talent for crying. Loud, incessant, attention-seeking crying. It's like they have a sixth sense for when the spotlight is shifting away from them. Suddenly, it's waterworks galore, the kind that would put even the most seasoned soap opera actors to shame. Second, they both have this inexplicable knack for creating a mess. I mean, it's almost impressive. 1 minute, everything's all clean and orderly, and the next, you're knee-deep in chaos. It's like they're tiny tornadoes, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. But here's the kicker. They never clean up their own mess. Oh no, that's left to the adults in the room. So what do politicians and babies have in common? They both cry for attention and make a mess that others have to clean up. Why are politicians like bad apples? Now, that's a question that could potentially lead us down the rabbit hole of political discourse, but we're here for laughs, not lectures. So let's dive in. Picture this. You're at a grocery store and you see this beautiful pile of shiny red apples. You pick one up and it's perfect. It's crisp, it's shiny, it's the apple of your dreams. But then, oh no, you turn it around and there's a rotten spot. Just one, but it's there. And you know what happens next, right? You put that apple back because no one wants a bad apple. Now think of our politicians. They're all shiny and polished on the surface, delivering speeches, shaking hands, kissing babies. But then you find one bad apple, one dishonest politician, and it's like that rotten spot on the apple. It has the power to spoil the whole bunch. Because one bad one can spoil the whole bunch. All right, folks, let's dive into the next scene. Why are politicians like parrots? Now think about it for a second. Picture a parrot perched on a branch, squawking away. This vibrant feathered creature has a knack for mimicry, repeating words and phrases it hears without really grasping their meaning. It's all about the sound, the rhythm, the tone. Now let's shift this picture to a politician behind a podium delivering a rousing speech. The words flow, the rhythm is perfect, and the tone is just right. But do they truly comprehend the depth and implications of what they're saying? Or are they merely echoing the words fed to them, much like our parrot friend? It's a funny comparison, isn't it? Politicians and parrots, both masters of repetition, both so colourful and captivating, yet both seemingly oblivious to the true essence of their words. And that's why politicians are like parrots, because they both just repeat what they hear without understanding it. All right, folks, here's a cosmic conundrum for you. Why are politicians like aliens? I mean, besides the obvious fact that they both have an uncanny knack for appearing just when you least expect them. You know, like when you're trying to enjoy a quiet evening at home and suddenly there's a politician on your TV screen, promising to fix everything from your leaky faucet to the national debt. Or when you're out in the backyard, trying to enjoy a quiet evening of stargazing, and suddenly there's a UFO hovering overhead promising, well, who knows what they're promising? They're aliens. But here's the real punchline. politicians and aliens are so similar because they both seem to come from a different planet. You see, just like aliens, politicians often appear to be completely out of touch with the reality of ordinary people's lives. It's like they're living in a different universe altogether. And let's be honest, sometimes you just wish they'd go back there, don't you? Remember when we compared politicians to pizzas? Oh, what a hoot! Who knew that our elected officials could be so deliciously funny? We kicked things off with the question, why are politicians like pizzas? And the answer, because they're often cheesy, topped with a lot of hot air, and you never really know what you're getting until you take a bite. Then we moved on to the light bulb scenario. We wondered how many politicians it would take to change a light bulb. The answer, of course, was none. Why? Because politicians prefer to keep us in the dark. Now that's a punchline that really illuminates their modus operandi, doesn't it? And who could forget the scene where we equated politicians with babies? You know, both require constant attention, they're prone to throwing tantrums, and they tend to leave a mess for others to clean up. It's almost like they never really graduated from the nursery, isn't it? Then we had politicians and apples. It was a fruitful comparison indeed. We asked, why are politicians like apples? And the answer was just as juicy, because they come in all shapes and colors, but they all have a core that's hard to digest. It's a reminder that beneath the shiny exterior, there's always a seed of truth that's tough to swallow. The scene with parrots was a real feather in our cap. Politicians are like parrots because they can mimic human speech without understanding a word, and they're always squawking about something. Plus, they both look good behind bars. Now that's a bird's eye view of political humor that's sure to ruffle some feathers. And finally, we ventured into the final frontier with politicians and aliens. We asked, why are politicians like aliens? The answer? Because they promise to come in peace, but they always seem to create chaos. And let's not forget their fondness for probing and their uncanny ability to vanish when you need them the most. So there you have it, folks. A veritable smorgasbord of political humor, served up with a side of laughter and a dash of wit. We've journeyed through the world of pizzas, light bulbs, babies, apples, parrots and aliens, finding the funny in our politicians every step of the way. From cheesy toppings to dark rooms, from tantrums to hardcores, from squawking parrots to chaotic aliens, we've covered it all. And the best part? We've done it with a smile on our faces and laughter in our hearts. Because at the end of the day, humor is a powerful weapon. It helps us cope with the absurdities of life, the inconsistencies of politics, and the never-ending circus that is the political arena. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there's always a reason to laugh, a reason to smile, a reason to keep going. So as we wrap up our journey through the world of political humor, let's take a moment to appreciate the power of laughter. Let's remember that every joke, every punchline, every belly laugh is a testament to our resilience, our spirit, and our ability to find joy in the midst of chaos. And that's it for our political humor today. Always remember, laughter is the best form of resistance.